Okay, our next poem is Egg Horror Poem by Laurel Winter. Looking at the structure of this poem, immediately you can see the lines are absolutely not the same length. The first two lines, small, white, one syllable. Line 13, just anything to make them unattractive, 11 syllables. So not the same in each one. Egg Horror Poem is once again challenging something. It's going to use personification to change your perspective. So when you usually think about making breakfast, you obviously think about it from the perspective of the human who's going to eat the eggs. What happens if you change that perspective to the eggs being eaten? You're immediately going to say, well, it would be scary. And like, what time of day would be the worst? Well, the morning. What type of sounds would you hate? Well, a blender, the sound of the refrigerator door opening. And that's what Laurel Winter is going to use. So when I read this, it's short staccato to begin with. It ends short staccato. That means short. Okay. And then it's going to get into like some scary words that if you were an egg, why you'd be scared. So here's the poem. Small, white, afraid of heights, whispering in the cold, dark carton. To the rest of the dozen, they are 10 now. Any meal is dangerous, but they fear breakfast most. They jostle in their compartments, trying for tiny, dark-veined cracks, not enough to hurt much, just anything to make them unattractive. To the big hands that reach in from time to random time, they tell horror stories that their mothers, the chickens, cluck to them. Merengues, omelets, egg salad sandwiches. That destroyer of dozens, the homemade angel food cake. The door opens, light filters into the carton. Let it be the milk, they pray. But the carton opens and a hand reaches in once, twice. Before they can even jiggle, they are all alone again, in the cold, in the dark. New spaces, hollow, where there were two. Through the heavy door, they hear the sound of the mixer, deadly blades whirring. They huddle, the eight, in the cold, in the dark, and wait. Okay. So, obviously, things that you take for granted, taking an egg, cracking it open, making an omelet, they would find very scary. Opening the fridge, they're hoping it's not them. Okay, some of the sound devices that are used. One is onomatopoeias. Onomatopoeias are words that sound like the sounds. Do we have any examples of onomatopoeias in here? Clucked. Okay. Whispering is an onomatopoeia. There's one on the back I noticed. Whirring, the deadly blades whirring. And I don't know if there's any more, but there's a couple in there. Okay, so those are sound devices in order to make you feel like you're in the place of the egg. Also, just the shape of this poem, like it starts short, it gets big, it gets short, it gets slightly bigger again, it gets short at the end. Like it's to build anticipation. It's almost looking like a plot line, like working up, drops down, up again. Like it's built like a horror story. And then of course, like it's the absurdity of it too. Like, so it's an egg, like they don't have feelings, but what if they did? Okay, you can substitute any object that you can think of. Like, what's the life like of a pencil? Because I'm trying to find an actual pencil. Like, okay, great life until like all of a sudden someone sticks you to a pencil sharpener and you start to be, your head gets shaved off. Like, it's fine until then. Okay, so there's lots of figurative language in here too. When you look at things like merengues, omelets, and egg salad sandwiches, like, why would they be scared of those? Well, because that's what eggs go into. Okay. Alrighty, so that is that poem.